Just in, another significant uncommon movement of XRP between unrecognized destinations has caught the crypto community's attention, which sought to exploit Bitfinex by leveraging the XRP Ledger partial payments feature. However, the motive behind the movement remains to be determined. By the way, following Kaiko recently published Q4 2023's top 5 assets, XRP has beaten other notable names such as SOL, BNB, and DOGE in liquidity rank, thereby securing the 3rd spot overall. However, does this serve as a boost to XRP's market cap ranking? Finally, how can Ripple go for IPO with everything currently happening around it? Stick with me till the end to find out more. If this sounds like something of much interest to you, be sure to check out this new video starting now. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency world in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we happily send you a special welcome. We invite you to hit on the notification bell so you never miss another video. We are announcing that this channel has a giveaway of 200 XRP. To stand the chance of participating, all you have to do is simply subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment with the hashtag XRP, and the winner will be announced on the 31st of January. Within the last 3 hours, Whale Alert captured the movement of 443 million XRP. At the time of the report, the transaction was valued at over $254,800,000. Per the disclosure, the senders and recipients' addresses are unknown wallets. Moreover, the receiver address is a newly established XRP wallet. However, data from XRP Blockchain Explorer Bitfinex suggested that the sender and receiver of the 443.1 million XRP are the same entity, the Bitfinex exchange. In particular, an XRP wallet affiliated with Bitfinex, which has just 2 transactions to its name, orchestrated the substantial transaction. The wallet sent the tokens to a new XRP address with a timestamp of January 16th. This unit transaction effectively activated the XRP destination. At the time of reporting, the 443.1 million still resides in the new XRP wallet. The motive behind the movement remains to be determined. The last time Whale Alert documented a transaction of similar magnitude emanating from the exchange was precisely 3 months ago. Nonetheless, the exchange has become renowned for its persistent transfer of XRP assets between untagged destinations. Meanwhile, this latest transaction from Bitfinex comes at a time when the crypto community recently witnessed a foiled fraud attempt involving 25 billion XRP tokens moved in a single transaction. Initially, Whale Alert, functioning as an automated system, called attention to the transaction. However, the update was subsequently removed. The deletion occurred because the transaction was ultimately unsuccessful. The scam 25 billion XRP transaction targeted the Bitfinex exchange. Fortunately, the Bitfinex team's robust security measures played a pivotal role in thwarting the attempted scam. The event sparked intense reactions within the community, prompting a response from Ripple's chief technology officer, David Schwartz. David Schwartz commented on this, emphasizing that it is misleading to state that billions of XRP moved. According to Schwartz, the actual amount that the transaction moved was valued in cents, not billions. He admired Bitfinex and Arduino for foiling the hack attempt, but confirmed that the situation was not due to an XRPL vulnerability or flaw. Schwartz emphasized that the partial payment flag is a secure feature on the XRPL, not a bug. Notably, the feature is useful when a sender wishes to return any unwanted payments made to his address without incurring any cost to himself. However, some malicious actors might seek to take advantage of the feature and exploit an institution's faulty configuration in terms of handling partial payments. The Ripple CTO stressed that the attack on Bitfinex was unsuccessful because the exchange handles partial payments correctly. Today's thwart is a strong reminder to all institutions and applications. The importance of proper configuration and integration cannot be understated, David Schwartz added, sharing a link to the partial payments document for further education. So, how does the partial payments exploit work? Well, for the uninitiated, attackers deploy the partial payments exploit by specifying a large amount in the amount field of a transaction to an institution. However, they send a much smaller amount. While the transaction is successful and shows large funds in amount, it actually delivers a fraction of the specified amount. If the institution's system focuses on the amount and ignores the delivered amount field or the partial payments flag, the firm could credit the attacker with the full funds it notices on the amount field, not knowing that what was delivered was in fact much smaller. The XRPL document also cautions that malicious actors can also take advantage of the feature to defraud merchants. They do this by sending a much smaller amount than what is specified in the amount field. If the merchant focuses on this amount, ignorant of the partial payments flag, he could release the goods or carry out the services for the payment, not knowing that the actual amount delivered to the receiving address is much smaller. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. The fourth quarter of 2023 was a favorable one for the crypto scene, as the broader market witnessed a massive uptrend due to increased interest. This surge in interest contributed to an impressive growth in trade volume and liquidity across the market. However, amid the uptrend, XRP performed poorly compared to other mainstream names such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. XRP recorded a drop in liquidity and volume in Q4 2023. Despite this slowdown, the crypto token still occupied the third spot in liquidity ranking. Kaiko, a crypto market intelligence platform, disclosed this in its latest quarterly report on crypto market liquidity. Data shows that XRP was only behind BTC and Ethereum in liquidity score in Q4 2023, as these three assets retained their respective positions on the top 3 list. Notably, Bitcoin recorded a perfect score across all rankings in the previous quarter, with 50 points in terms of 0.1% liquidity depth, 50 points in 1% liquidity depth. In addition, exchange points, spread points, and volume points were all 50. While volume and liquidity are closely related, they are both fundamentally different. Volume is a measure of the total number of assets traded over a specific period. However, liquidity measures how easily market participants can buy or sell those assets without significantly affecting their price. A 0.1% liquidity depth assesses the liquidity of an asset very close to the current market price, within a 0.1% price range. Nonetheless, a 1% depth measures the token's liquidity in a much broader manner, considering 1% of the asset's current market price. This presents an idea of the overall liquidity across a wider range of prices. Ethereum scored 49 points across all the metrics, including 0.1% and 1% liquidity depths. However, it recorded a perfect 50 points for the exchange score. Meanwhile, XRP scored 48 points in terms of 0.1% liquidity depth, 1% liquidity depth, and spread. The token scored 47 exchange and volume points. While these scores are slightly lower than BTC's and Ethereum's, XRP towers over every other asset, including SOL, BNB, and Dogecoin. Most assets performed admirably, but others saw more substantial growth from Q3 2024. In a more elaborate report, Kaiko revealed that the liquidity rankings of BTC and Ethereum were on par with their respective market cap rankings. However, XRP's liquidity ranking, third, slightly outperformed its market cap ranking, fifth. Furthermore, despite underperforming other major crypto assets in the past year, the best may be just ahead for XRP, with multiple analysts and indicators pointing to a meteoric rally to $11. For comparison, Bitcoin and Solana gained 73% and 383%, respectively, raising doubts among XRP holders on whether it is time to jump ship to other assets with greater potential. Amid the debate, however, prominent crypto analyst XRP is one of those calling for patience on the part of XRP holders. In a recent technical analysis, the analyst reviewed the potential for a GRB, gamma ray burst, on XRP. The famous indicator represents energetic events that release vast amounts of gamma ray radiation that pushes prices to unprecedented levels. XRP noted that XRP already witnessed a similar event during the 2017 bull market when its price soared from $0.003 to $3.31 between January 2017 and 2018. He expects XRP to witness a similar outcome in the upcoming bull run, opening up double-figure targets such as $11, $33, and even $220. A surge to $11 would represent a 1,500% increase for XRP. Now to our big question for the day: how can Ripple go for IPO with everything currently happening around? Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. Attorney Morgan raised the question in response to predictions from Wall Street financial expert Linda P. Jones, who forecasted that Ripple's much-anticipated IPO might occur in May 2024. I think there's an opportunity if Ripple wants to go public next year. Mid-May would be an ideal time, right around May 15th, Jones said in an interview with Linkto. Notably, Jones' opinion was also shared by online betting platform DinoBet.io in a tweet last year. The official X handle quizzed whether Ripple's potential IPO in May has what it takes to drive the XRP price to around $10. Interestingly, the tweet went viral last week, with notable XRP enthusiasts commenting on the Wall Street financial expert's prediction. Reacting, attorney Morgan attempted to know the identity of the expert who predicted that Ripple would go public in May 2024. Furthermore, he asked why Ripple would go public at a time when it is still entangled in a legal tussle with the SEC. The pro-XRP lawyer attached the SEC versus Ripple scheduling order with respect to the remedies phase of the lawsuit. According to the court order, the last motion in the remedy stage of the lawsuit will be filed on April 29, 2024. Judge Annalisa Torres might issue the final judgment weeks after the last motion has been filed, extending the SEC versus Ripple legal tussle to May or June 2024. There have been speculations about Ripple going public in the United States. In a January 2020 interview with the Wall Street Journal at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse disclosed that the company would be on the leading side of companies seeking to float an IPO over the next 12 months. However, this vision was halted in December 2020 when the SEC charged Ripple with violating federal security laws. Meanwhile, discussions about Ripple's potential IPO resurfaced recently, with Linkto highlighting trends investors must watch this year for companies considering going public. As reported earlier, Garlinghouse recently commented on Ripple's IPO journey, citing regulatory uncertainty as the major factor affecting Ripple's chances of going public soon. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments section. Make sure you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can help enlighten others just like you have been enlightened by sharing this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere, guys. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content. See you tomorrow to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.